Hey MaximoTV, I'm Erica Rhodes here at the Playboy Mansion, Be Jealous Boys, where Hugh Hefner is being honored with the Mr. Wonderful Award by the Thalians. Check out what he has to say. Hi, are you Mr. Wonderful, and what does this event mean to you tonight?
Well, I certainly feel like Mr. Wonderful tonight.
Yeah, once you get the So what does this event mean?
It's kind of like the people's sexiest man of the year. They keep changing. Right, well, I'm going to try to be Mr. Wonderful for the rest of my life.
Talk about this event.
Well, it is the Thalians. It is for veterans. It is a very worthy worthwhile cause. Thalians has a great deal of meaning for me because it was the first major charity celebrity event that I started coming to on a regular back in 1960s when I started coming out here to L.A. And in 1969, the first time that I went to a Thalians event, Mr. Wonderful was Frank Sinatra. So, pretty good act to follow.
My first single comes out June 14th. It's called Club Queen. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're working on the video in a couple weeks. So.
And you're going to be debuting it in London, I hear?
Yeah, I'm performing June 4th in London at the opening of the Playboy Club.
If you could compare yourself to somebody, who would you compare yourself to?
It's different than everybody, so you'll see soon.
Do you sing to Hugh?
Yes, I do. I sing to him. I write songs, so he's in reading my lyrics and all kinds of stuff. So,
who do you look up to as an artist?
I love Britney Spears. I love all the old school stuff. I love Cyndi Lauper, Madonna, everybody.
You know, I've got my band Velvet Revolver on kind of a big hiatus because Slash is on tour. And I'm working with Ace. We have a group called Donny Stilettos, which is Ace is a dancer and a singer. And we're working on a new project. I just shot a video for that, but I'm not going to say the name yet because I want to kind of come out with a bang. And I'm doing Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp for VH1. It's kind of a cool show. I play a mentor. And me and Ace, we do a lot of stuff. We just did Dog Whisper a while back, which was fun. We have a dog, it's crazy. And so we were like, well, let's go on Dog Whisper. So we did that. That was cool. But Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp's Mark Burnett, who does The Apprentice. And it's kind of all these people from all over the world. They're like a plumber, like a doctor, lawyer. They want to be rock stars. And they come to this school camp kind of vibe, and I help them get their vibe on, you know? Show them how to rock. And I'm competing against Duff McKagan, Mark Hudson, and the show this year has got Sammy Hagar and Chad Smith and the Chili Peppers, a bunch of cool people. And yeah, that'll be out fall, I think. But in the meantime, we're real busy in the studio. Life is good, you know. We're happy to be here. I'm playing tonight with Camp Freddy. Jamming with some friends of mine. We're doing an acoustic set and helping with the charity, you know.
This is a little bit as a comedian that I can do to help try to cheer people up and get a few laughs for a good cause. And you know, any opportunity to go overseas and do shows for the soldiers or do them here at the Playboy Mansion. This is two of my favorite things coming together. I roasted Hef in 2001. He's been gracious enough to invite me to his parties, and I make good friends. And this is Deanna and Hiromi, two of the legendary playmates. And you know, there's always a lot of love around here for comedians. Hef has always supported comics, going back to the Playboy clubs. He was actually the first one to book African American comedians in white clubs. So those sorts of actions speak very loudly to me as somebody who likes to talk smack for a living.
If you had to roast Hugh Hefner again now, I mean, including his marriage and everything that he's done since you roasted him the first time, what would you say?
I'd say get a prenup. Yeah.
So do you think he's Mr. Wonderful?
I do. I like that award for him. It's the perfect word for him. He's a wonderful guy. He's always very sincere, very generous, and he can take a joke.
What do you think about the transition of music? I mean, here in 2011, we have the phenomenon of the internet, and we have overnight sensations like Rebecca Black. What are your opinions on that?
Well, I mean, you know, over time, you know, I've had the luxury of being around for 22 years and really watching artists with, you know, sustainability and yet at the same time you look at I think what you really see now is how music fashion, sports, everything now is so it's become like this multi-tier of, when you look at artists, you look at their branding capacity, really, because it's what you're attaching them with, which is really their, the Katy Perrys, and pop music is back, and it's at an all-time strength of kind of when I broke in the late 80s. So we had a real slow period, and now late 90s it resurged again. And I think there's some great talent out there. I listen to their stuff. There's some great artists out there, great female artists bringing it, and pop music, and it's a lot of fun, from Gaga obviously to Rihanna and obviously the Beyoncés and Katy and all that. I think there's great stuff.
Do you have a favorite?
No, I think they all Britney's new stuff is great, but again, that's Keisha. And it's just Britney bringing it, and I just think there's some great pop music out there.
What can you tell us about your greatest hits album? When can we expect it?
I have a couple of singles in the works. One I wrote with a Swedish group called Macho Psycho. It's called Right Time. That's going to come out in the next month. I have another single called Floor on Fire, which I wrote with some phenomenal writers, Nicholas King, and who's Swedish as well, and another gal, Tanya Dako, who's big Australian artist. So those combinations, and then releasing the single first, and then applying that to my greatest hits album. You just gotta be smart about it.
Tell me, you all have a project coming up, a label, some stuff with Bristol Palin. Give me the lowdown.
Yeah, definitely Massey Records, our record label. We started a couple years ago, maybe like 3 years ago. We're finishing up our first album, and it'll be done and ready to hit the air. And
yeah, we have a lot of stuff going on.
Tell us about it.
Mainly our album. Our album is probably the main thing. Eat my mic. No, I think our album is pretty much the main thing. We have we're performing a song today. We perform songs, on different events, and really it's just about getting the album completely finished and just out. And we have our own record label, so it's more work than normal artists.
Yeah.
So, and you're doing both, singing and rapping, right?
Yes,
I am. No, Kyle's got his little taste of singing in there too.
I have the voice of an angel being dragged to hell.
Oh no. Okay.
Voice, dude. I can't sing at all. He can sing. He was Simba in The Lion King, the stage production in Los Angeles, right?
When I was 10.
When he was 10 years old.
That's all right. You're singing now. That's it.
Yeah, there you go.
So tell us about working with Bristol Palin.
Bristol. Dude, Bristol's awesome. I got the pleasure of working with Bristol for 15 weeks or something like that on Dancing with the Stars, and Bristol, she's a sweetheart. We have a new show coming out that I can't really say much more about.
Yeah, we'll keep that between us and the camera and YouTube.
Yeah, you're actually the first person to ask us about it.
Yeah.
When can we expect the show?
Soon, sooner than later.
Dude, I say by the end of this year, start looking for it.
Okay.
I'm busy. I've been doing so much traveling, more traveling than I've ever done in my life. I just went to New York yesterday, and then I flew back to Las Vegas, and I drove into LA today. So it's all around the world in 24 hours.
What are you doing exactly?
You know what? I'm working on a bunch of little projects right now. A couple of them which I can't talk about because they're still in the process of being created. So, but I'm really excited. This year is going to be amazing, and I'm very blessed.